Brock, who is today? We're coming down the final stretch. Just 3 to go. Give me today's draft profile.
The Seattle Seahawks select.
This is Brock Huard's draft profile.
You want traits? Check. You want a vocal leader? Check.
At the end of the day, you have to say, okay, what's best for the organization?
Can you make people around you better, and can you bring people together?
Every day at 9 a.m. leading up to the draft.
Defensive end, Jared Verse, Florida State University. That's who they pick. That's who Salk secretly wants them to pick anyway. Does he check the boxes? Does he have the traits? Does he make people around him better? Every guy this week is going to check all of those little sound clips that you heard before. I'll give you a little breakdown on Jared Verse. 6'4", 254, 33.5-inch arms. So pretty prototypical kind of size. When Joel Klatt, an hour and a half ago, was on talking about building the run wall. We will hear about the run wall. We will in time with Mike McDonald as he builds this defense. You want to build a very, very strong edge of that wall, Salk, you draft Jared Verse. As I mentioned to you, 6'4", 254. You bench press 225 31 times. That's a powerful, powerful man. Usually when you see somebody bench press of that nature, they're a little stiff. And he's got a tiny bit of stiffness. But you know what they don't normally do? Run 4.5 in the 40. They don't normally run 4.5 in the 40, jump 35, 10'7" broad jump, all of that twitch, all of that explosiveness that you want with all of that power, right? You'll hear these scouts all week long, and certainly on draft day, talk about speed to power, speed to power. Well, he's got speed, and dude has power. And he's been unbelievably productive. You know what he fights? He fights that, man, it's really hard to change a narrative. In fact, you know, my Macy, bless her heart, and I'll slip a Macy into my draft profile. When my Macy went to Oklahoma State, man, I love sitting in that room, the final meeting as she was offered and accepted, and the coach said, you know what I like about you? I like that you went to a mid-major, because so did I. I like that you have that in your story, because it does put that Mike Salkian chip on your shoulder. Jared Verse started his career at Albany. He was a Great Dane at Albany in the Colonial Athletic Association. In fact, redshirted. You redshirt at Albany, and you're going to be a top 15 pick? Get out of here. How many of those in the history of the league have ever happened? So running away, Salk, from some of that early narrative, been a big part of his career. At the COVID year, blew up his second year, so good that he transfers to Florida State. And, you know, you asked point blank, Joel Klatt, hey, man, Latu, Jared Verse, they're both there at 16. And he said Verse. And he said Verse because of Latu's injury history more than anything else. But look at the production. Two-time All-American, two-time All-Conference. This is not a one-hit wonder. This was a star at Albany. He was a star at Florida State. 48 tackles, 17 tackles for loss, 9 sacks. 42 tackles, 13 tackles for loss, 9 sacks. The dude gets home. The dude is powerful. The guy, and you read an anecdote about him last week, he reached out to Florida State, and those players, before he ever transferred there, said, listen, you're not getting a diva. I'm going to be a guy. I'm going to be a team guy. And was the heart and soul of a team that went, undefeated and got screwed out of a playoff opportunity. Jared Verse is on the board at 16. It is going to be a very, very tempting pick for Seattle.
All right, good stuff. Jared Verse, yes, I did write about him last week, Brock, at seattlesports.com, and just said, look, I know what they should do. They should draft Fautano. They should draft potentially a quarterback if the right one's available. They should draft Byron Murphy. But if they do draft Jared Verse, I am going to be psyched, man.
I'll give you a little comp, too.
I got 2 things for you. Okay, yeah,
okay.
I want a comp.
That
is today's profile.
Comp.
Give me a comp.
Somebody that Justin Barnes has grown to love, Trey Hendrickson. Played at Florida Atlantic. Yeah, played at Florida Atlantic. When he came out of school, 6'4", 266, so bigger guy, strong and powerful, ran 4.65. You know what he had last year? 17.5 sacks. 17.5 sacks. Dude's been unbelievably productive. Is he like, you know, TJ Watt? Is he homeboy that just signed the huge deal with the Giants from Carolina, Burns? Is he like that twitchy, and is he Latu-esque with all of his moves? No. But is he just a pick up your lunch pail and let me just set a physical edge and be an immovable difference maker? Yeah. Yeah, so there's a bunch of Trey Hendrickson to his game.
So-
Just
so-
a stout dude.
All right, so 2 questions here, Brock. One a comment. I'm just going to help you with something, and the other is a question.
Uh-oh.
When I moved to the West Coast,
Yeah.
I found out that it's Nevada and Oregon.
I was
Oh, no.
I was
what'd
noticing
say?
the Albany pronunciation.
Right. When I moved to the West Coast after years of growing up in the Northeast, right, and I always thought it was
Yeah.
Nevada and Oregon, I
Nevada,
learned
Oregon.
that it's
Right.
Nevada and it's Oregon.
Okay.
It's Albany.
Albany.
Albany. Like
Thank you.
as if it was the word all, ALL.
ALL.
Albany.
Albany.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Albany.
appreciate that.
I got you. I'm
Not
just going to help you
not
out with that one.
Okay,
Albany.
good. Thank
Because
you.
it's sort of the same thing. You're taking
Yeah.
the Nevada pronunciation and throwing it on Albany.
I appreciate
And it's
that.
definitely Albany, and it's a dump.
Good.
Anyway, it really is. It's not a great place.
Yes.
Right near there is Saratoga Springs. Beautiful, beautiful area. Albany, not so much. Brock, when you talk about edge players, we tend to focus almost exclusively on their ability to get to the quarterback. How important is his ability to set an edge?
Pretty important too, man. Pretty important too. Not a great linebacker class. DJ texting that, tweeting that over the weekend as he's putting his bow on it. Not a great off-ball linebacker. So you better then really be able to set an edge. And you know what, Salk? How about the backside? You know, when that run play cuts back, and all of a sudden
Sorry,
Daryl
I thought you were
Taylor's
just talking about his backside, which is what I
Daryl
normally
Taylor's
expect from you.
Daryl Taylor's nowhere to be found. He's in outer space, and there's a gap 6 feet wide to run through. Versus, nope, I'm going to collision for every inch, and I'm going to be right here, right at home. When you cut back to me, there's going to be nowhere to go. It's building that wall, and it takes all 4 of those guys up front to do it.
Well, it's an intriguing one, man. I got to tell you, of all of the guys we've talked about, he is the one that I'm just going to have my eye on. Like, geez, I really hope he's there and available for them. And I'll be pretty bummed if they don't take him. I get it. Faltano's probably the right pick. If it's Michael Penix, I'm going to jump up and down with excitement just for what's coming and the fact that they're that invested in a quarterback at that spot. But Jared Verse is going to be real high on my list of people to watch on Thursday night.